not enlightened. Let me see. Sip Jatashankar, Sip Siri, Sip Siva, Sip Atmanand, Sip Alak, Sip Deepatma, Sip Rajanand, Sip Krishna, Sip Samatma, Sip Anand, Sip Sukhi, Sip Parvati Amma, Sip Sita, Sip Renuka, Sip Viresh, Sip Manisha, Sip Ahem, Sip Bliss, Sip Sagai, Sip Kamalji, Sip Siva, Sip Siva, Sip Girija, Sip Dasi, Sip Krishnanamma, Sip Yogini, Sip Prakash, Sip Atmanji, Sip Sarojanand, Sip Soham, Sip Nichani, Sip Ahem Atma, Sip Premchandji, Sip Sarjanand, Sip Poonam, Sip Manisha, Sip Atmatray, Sip Renuka. Welcome to the call. I'm sure you will have an interesting call today. Let me see where your imagination goes wild. We have got Jatashankar and Sachin. Yes, Jatashankar and Sachin. You can ask any question if you have a previous question. Otherwise, will an enlightened person marry somebody who is not enlightened? Why do we have these topics? These topics is for us for contemplation, for illumination, for purification. But of course, you can ask any question. I think Jatashankar had an old question pending. हाँ Jatashankar, बोलिए जी.
सर कल
आज का सवाल है आपका कल का सवाल है?
सर कल में कंटिन्यू करते हैं ना, थोड़ा सा कन्वर्सेशन हो जाए
हाँ
उपनिषद
बोलिए
जैसा।
बोलिए बोलिए।
सर आप बता रहे थे कि जो जीवन मुक्त व्यक्ति होता है उसका कोई लक्षण नहीं होता है, उसके बारे में बता रहे थे।
मतलब हम किसी को अगर ये मैं चाय पी रहा हूं, कैसे मालूम पड़ेगा एक चाय गर्म है या ठंडा है? चाय कैसे मालूम पड़ेगा चाय गर्म है या ठंडा है?
टच करके
मालूम पड़ेगा। अभी आप देख रहे धुआं है, धुआं निकल रहा है, धुआं से मालूम पड़ता है।
जी
अलग अलग ऐसे क्वालिटीज है ना जो हम देख सकते हैं। ठीक है
जी।
एनलाइटेंड पर्सन जो जीवन मुक्त है, हम उसे एक नजर में देख सकते हैं या कि ये आदमी क्या मुक्त है। मुक्त का मतलब फ्री है, ये बंधा हुआ है इंसान, या सचमुच ये इंसान आजाद है। लेकिन क्या हम 100% बोल सकते? नहीं बोल सकते। वो नाटक भी कर सकता है
जी।
सपोज कोई एक्टिंग कर रहा है, एक्टिंग कर सकता है। सपोज कोई एक्टिंग कर एक्टिंग कर सकते हैं। गर्म पानी है, गर्म पानी है नहीं, वो भी हो सकता है
जी।
तो हमारा काम ये नहीं कि हम किसी और के लक्षण देखें, ये हमारा काम नहीं। हाँ, हमें गुरु चाहिए, हमें गुरु को देख के बोलना है कि क्या गुरु हमें गु से रू तक लेके जा रहा है, नहीं लेके जा रहा है, एक ही बात। बाकी दुनिया जागृत है, सोए हैं, भाड़ में जाओ, हमें कुछ फर्क ही नहीं पड़ता।
ये हमें कैसे पता चले कि हम अध्यात्म में या हम अपने स्वरूप में प्रोग्रेस कर रहे हैं? इसका प्रमाण क्या है? हमें शांति की अनुभूत होना, मतलब इस चीज का कैसे रियलाइज हो कि मैं इसमें प्रोग्रेस कर रहा हूँ?
तो देर आर 26 बुक है सेल्फ सर्टिफिकेशन। जब तक इफ आई थिंक आई एम द बॉडी, फिर मैं अटका हूं। इफ आई थिंक आई एम द माइंड, अटका हूं। अगर अहंकार कहता है मैं हूं, अटका है
जी।
अगर मुझे फियर, वरी, स्ट्रेस, एंजाइटी, डर, चिंता, तनाव, बेचैनी होती है, फिर मैं अटका हूं। अगर मुझे क्रोध होता है, क्रोध, लोभ, मोह, अहंकार, तो मैं अहंकार में अटका हूं। तो देयर आर मेनी रीजन, ऐसा एक नहीं। तो हम एक एक चीज करके हम आगे बढ़े। सपोज मैं अभी भी यकीन करता हूं कि प्रभु मंदिर में है, प्रभु मूर्ति में है, तो मैं अविद्या में हूं।
जी।
अगर मैं प्रभु को हर इंसान में देख सकता हूं, हर इंसान में भगवान देख सकता हूं, तो मैं जागृत हूं।
जी।
कई रियलाइजेशंस हैं, एक ही अनुभूति नहीं है, कई अनुभूतियां हैं। कमल जी ने एक किताब लिखा कि हिंदी में क्या लिखा है, एक एक क्या बोलते हैं, एक योगी की अनुभूतियां, करेक्ट, ये शायद। तो एक योगी की अनुभूतियां, उसका मतलब आप किताब पढ़िए, ऑनलाइन में हिंदी किताब है, आप हिंदी जाते हैं ना, एक योगी की अनुभूतियां, वो किताब पढ़िए आप।
ठीक
है ऑनलाइन अवेलेबल है, एयर आत्मा एंड रवि, अभी अपलोड हुआ है।
ठीक है सर, मैं पढ़ूंगा।
ओके, अभी यू पेस्ट दैट लिंक, हम अभी लिंक पेस्ट करें आपके लिए। ओके, थैंक यू। और कुछ है तो आप आइएगा। सचिन शिवा, समात्मा, आत्मानंद एंड ब्लिस। लेट्स मूव ऑन टू
Shivam Guru.
Shiva. Yes, sir.
I have 2-3 questions. Don't call me sir.
You're allowed to answer. You're allowed to ask 3 questions.
3 questions. Okay, my first question is that is when you say mind, is mind in Hindi is also called as man?
Memory.
No, man.
What's
हिंदी
your
में
question?
हिंदी में माइंड को आप मन बोलते हैं हिंदी में?
Yes, yes. Mind
तो
in
मन तो
English, in
चंचल
Hindi it
होता
is
है.
man. हाँ?
तो मन तो चंचल होता है. करेक्ट.
मन चंचल है, मन दुश्मन है, मन मन मन
करेक्ट.
मन तो जानवर है, मन तो बंदर है.
अच्छा, जब आप कहते हैं आई मी एंड माइंड, तो अब हमारी आदत है शुरू से, बचपन से आई मी एंड माइंड हर जगह लिखने की. तो
Yes,
अब आगे
yes.
फ्यूचर में जब बात करनी है अभी आज से, तो उसको किससे रिप्लेस किया जाए व्हेन वी टॉक?
Same I.
सॉरी,
I replace I with I.
आई विद आई.
हाँ.
नाउ प्लीज क्लैरिफाई दिस.
I as Sachin
हम्म.
to I as the Atma in Sachin.
ओके, डन, गॉट इट.
I am not Sachin, but I am. I am the soul
Atma in
in
Sachin.
Sachin. I am the
Now,
soul in Sachin.
Guruji, on this point, I wanted to know from you. Now, example, if I am also in a worldly, world, right?
Yeah,
I'll have
yeah,
to probably future work somewhere, right?
yeah,
So,
yeah.
should I start writing my name Atma in Sachin?
You can. Soul
Okay.
in Sachin, Atma in Sachin, Ruh in Sachin, the soul in Sachin, spirit in Sachin, whatever you want. Or
In the signatures also, I can do that?
yes, you can. If you believe in it,
No. Of course, I believe in it. That's why I'm asking you.
then obviously you can do it. There's no reason, no harm in that.
Okay. And the third question was basically about the sadhana, which there was a podcast which I was watching of yesterday, which you did with I don't know, it's very difficult name. Miss Mataji.
Mata, yeah,
So
yeah.
she was mentioning there sadhana is very important to go to the, before getting liberation, basically.
Yeah.
So because Vivekanand ji and she was talking about Maharishi and all that. So
How
I
many
just want
hours?
to know.
How many hours sadhana she's saying to do?
He was saying continuous sadhana, long sadhana. There is no mention of time there.
So according to
So
her, you can do 8 hours a day.
no,
So if
I don't want to go.
you want
No,
to
I don't
sit
want to do.
you
No,
want
I
to
don't
sit
want to do.
8 hours a day in sadhana, or you want to come 1 hour every day in Zoom call.
No, I am already in a Zoom call. For me,
You
this is
don't need
sadhana.
you don't need any more sadhana.
So that's what exactly I wanted to know. Is sadhana required apart from this? That's what my question was.
What sadhana I teach you, that is required.
This
For
is it.
example, every hour 1 minute meditation.
Hmm.
Every few hours 5 minutes meditation.
Hmm.
Every day or few days 1 hour meditation.
Hmm. Hmm.
That's all.
That's enough. That's enough.
Then seeing sip in all, loving
Hmm.
sip in all, serving sip in all. This is a sadhana I teach you.
Done. Serving
The,
Prem Yoga.
yeah. So whatever I teach in this call is sadhana.
Done.
You don't
And
need, if you want to follow some other mentors
no,
guide.
not at all.
No.
I don't
So
want to change my mentor. I'm very clear.
according to the Ramakrishna order, she says,
Hmm.
8 घंटा शांत में बैठ जाओ.
Hmm.
बैठ जाओ. सुबह से रात तक बैठ जाओ.
No, that's why I wanted to clarify, because she was, forcing. She was actually forcing on that point. So that's what I wanted to know.
See, that is not wrong. If somebody does not have the Zoom call, then what they do?
Hmm.
Then they sit 8 hours in meditation.
So we are blessed.
You are blessed if you think you are blessed.
We are blessed because we are here. Okay,
If
and
some
now to
people,
answer.
no, you are, see, if you think you are beaten, you are. If you think you dare not, you don't. If you think that you can win, then you can. If you think you
will.
can't, then you won't. In
I
every
will.
footpath, they sell this poster for 10 rupees.
आपका हाथ पकड़ लिया, छोड़ना नहीं है, खत्म.
So that is the choice.
Okay. अच्छा, नहीं वो choice confirmed है. अच्छा, मेरे को एक चीज और आपसे पूछना था. When you spoke about this question today, that with a married enlightened person will get married to unmarried enlightened lady. Yeah. So the answer, what I think is, once the person is enlightened before marriage, he will not get into some this social work, social, what you say, sansara, sansara.
Yeah.
He will never get, because it's very clear. So there is no stage of that comes there.
Yeah, but what if somebody is already married? So the different questions in this chat. Right?
Then yeah. So then
that's
he's
what
already. The point is that will he get married to unmarried, married to enlightened soul? So that is a question. Na? A married.
So that's your opinion. Somebody here may say, suppose somebody is in love with somebody, they say, I want to marry. Then can I marry
But
or I cannot not?
if he's enlightened, then he doesn't have to get into this. No.
That is what your opinion is, because you already married. So one who is not married is one who is not married is in that shadi wo phal hai jo khaye
Because
to
if
bhi
he's
pachta hai aur
taking
na
this
khaye
path,
to
my
bhi pachta
my
hai.
point is this, if somebody is on a path of spirituality, he will not like to move again, into bhoga then. That's my point.
It's a very deep subject. Yeah, good. Your opinion is taken. Okay?
Hmm. Hmm.
Siba. Thank you, Sachin. Siba, Samatma, Atmanand, and Bliss.
Pranam Guruji. Guruji, I am with my daughter in the Ayurvedic center, Guruji. I just want to tell ki enlightened person won't marry only, Guruji, first of all. Because he knows the cause and the effect. He knows, already he knows. Ki, marriage is the cause. Children are the effects. Why he will occupy himself in that samsara, Guruji? So, because here I like to mention one. I like to mention one story, Guruji. कि एक साधु था, वो एक लंगोटी पर रहता था, गुरुजी. तो वो चूहा उसकी लंगोटी खाता था और तो चूहे के लिए उसने बिल्ली पाला. तो बिल्ली की अभी बिल्ली को दूध चाहिए, तो वो दूध कहाँ से लाएगा? तो उसने गाय लाया. He got a cow and then afterwards अभी काऊ का दूध कौन निकालेगा रोज? इसीलिए he got married and then उसका enlightenment भी चला गया, सब कुछ चला गया, peace
Okay,
भी
good.
चला गया.
Good, you remember the story. Good. Okay.
And
Continue.
Guru,
Yeah, continue with your daughter.
yeah, and Guruji, ये भी बोलना था, if I was enlightened before my marriage, I won't have married, Guruji.
Samatma. Okay, good. But all of you are already married. So you have to take the question differently, right? So Samatma, each of you is already married. Many of you or most of you are married. So how are you going to deal with the subject? Samatma.
Shivoham.
Shivoham.
Allow all the divine souls here. An enlightened person will not get married because the person is whole from within and is already in Sachidanand. And when you enjoy your own company in silence, you don't feel the need for a partner. And finally, it is marriage which locks you in samsara. And you know divine love, but then it is not, you don't need marriage for divine love at that time. That is my call on this.
No, what is it? Correct, but you are saying it from a different, very awakened point of view. So not everybody understands this. So good, Samatma. Very clear and concise understanding. Good.
Thank you.
But the question, will an enlightened person marry somebody who is not enlightened? So this subject nobody has touched. Atmanand. Let me see. Thank you, Samatma.
Yeah, so I think it doesn't matter, right? Whether he marries or does not marry, it's same only.
How is it same?
Because if he remains in consciousness, then all these things don't matter, right? If he's already enlightened and is in consciousness, the relation should not have any effect on him.
If he's already enlightened, then he'll get married, you're saying?
If he marries also or does not marry also, it doesn't matter is what I'm trying to do.
So what is marriage? Marriage is a social obligation to get a person, a partner, and then to create a family. So will an enlightened person try to get somebody in their life and get a family? Or will he try to get an enlightened, or she try to get an enlightened person and not build a family? These are the various options. Or a person is already enlightened and already married, then what? So many question marks. See, so what you're saying, if a person is enlightened, Atmanand, would you get into a marriage? You are saying it does not matter, but you get into marriage and the lady is not enlightened. Suppose the girl is or the boy is not enlightened. Suppose a girl is enlightened and she wants to marry. Now the man is demanding so many things. He starts beating her. He starts troubling her. Then what do? He's not enlightened.
Then there's a thing called divorce.
So what? Then what is the point of getting married to get divorced? No,
because I have seen people who have got married after enlightenment also.
Is it? Show me a person like that, please. show me a person who gets enlightened after marriage. So, who gets married after enlightenment. I'm sorry, it's a different thing. Once you're enlightened, then you get married. You know somebody like that?
I will share it on WhatsApp. Yeah.
Okay. See, because what happens once you're enlightened, then you become awake. It's like saying somebody who nearly died eating pani puri on the street. Then you say again he's eating pani puri on the street.
Yeah, it also puzzled me, but I will share because I don't want to take any names here.
No, don't take names, but you can please share, okay? And then you can discuss in private. Bliss, Yogini, Atmanji, Siri.
Hi, Shram, everyone.
Yes, tell
Love
me.
you, everyone. I think it's possible someone is enlightened, married, someone no enlightened, because it's not because you are enlightened, you can love everything, but you prefer something else. You understand what I try to explain? So you love everything to eat. You love pizza. You love masala dosa. You love everything, but you prefer something.
So,
but
what about marriage?
it's
Pizza is not
the matter.
pizza.
You love
Pizza is not marriage.
everyone.
Huh?
Hein? Mais mariage is a contract. A contract?
Yeah.
Between
Marriage is
two
so,
persons.
So can one enlightened person marry another enlightened person?
I don't think so. It's possible. Enlightened with enlightened, I don't know. But if the person is not enlightened, it's possible because maybe she needs this link to understand everything and get enlightened. No?
That's what we are discussing. See,
it's very a confused subject.
No, it's not confused. It's a very simple subject. So you please listen to the call today. See, if you marry somebody, you are enlightened. And if that person is enlightened, then is there a problem? If you are enlightened and the person is not enlightened, is there a problem? So understand in consciousness. Think about it and listen carefully to the call. Okay?
Yes, that's all. Thank you.
Thank you. Yogini Atmanji, Siri, Kamalji.
Shivam, sir.
Shivam.
I would say there are 2 points. An enlightened person, first though, he should not think about marriage because he has already given himself to the Lord. And again, if he wants to get married, that means he is coming back to Boga. So there is no enlightenment for him. But if the lady wants to marry and wants to get enlightened of being with him, then it is the choice.
Okay, good. What if the man is enlightened and the girl is also enlightened? And they want to marry. If two enlightened people want to get married.
Yeah, then like the Prem Yoga, that you have to see, they will understand that you have to see one another as God. Then I don't think there won't be more problem. There won't be any problem. Like if you're marrying an unenlightened person.
So the big question mark comes then, will they just love each other or will they get married?
It's a choice.
So this is what I'm asking you all to think in consciousness. Think, okay? Atmanji, good. So see, every day, as I told you, the Zoom call makes you contemplate on a subject. And every subject is important. Every subject that we talk of, every day, the subject helps you to evolve further and further and further. And today's subject is an important subject in life called marriage. In this world, marriage is a very important subject. So Atmanji.
I bow down to you, Sip, sir.
Namaskar, sir.
Sir, मेरा ये कहना है कि there is no fixed answer. Okay, sir. Two points I will make, sir, here. One question I will ask. First, regarding marriage, sir, my understanding is that there is no fixed answer. And because enlightenment, depending on the situation, surrounding, time, the person is living, he will not react, he will respond. And for the greater good of things, he's in consciousness totally, so his intellect will sign and he will decide whether we should marry unenlightened and enlightened for the greater good of the thing. This is understanding, sir. My understanding regarding this thing. Second question, sir, some I want some explanation, sir, regarding enlightenment. हम तो पढ़ रहे हैं, सर, आई हैव रिटन डाउन. जब हम सोते हैं इन द स्लीपिंग कंडीशन, तो सपनों में चीजें जन्म लेती हैं और मर जाती हैं, थिंग्स बॉर्न एंड डाई. फिर भी हम उनके लिए शोक नहीं मनाते जब हम जग जाते हैं, क्योंकि हम जानते हैं कि वे केवल एक भ्रम है, इल्यूजन. ठीक है सर. जब हमें यह एहसास होता है कि यही बात हमारी जागृत अवस्था, वेकिंग ड्रीम के लिए भी सही सच है, तब जो अनुभव होता है उसे इनलाइटनमेंट या ज्ञानोदय कहा जाता है. माने when we in our waking condition we consider that this is a leela, totally agree and in line with this thing, that then this is called enlightenment. Is this some correction is required in this thing, or
read the last part you said, the dream state I understood. In the waking state, what you are saying?
जब हमें यह एहसास हो जाता है कि यही बात हमारी जागृत अवस्था के लिए भी सही है, तब जो अनुभव होता है उसे इनलाइटनमेंट कहा जाता है.
करेक्ट. लेकिन अगर आप ये पढ़ते हैं, इसको इनलाइटनमेंट नहीं बोलते हैं. अगर हमें इसका एहसास होता है का मतलब, अगर कोई मरता है, वी आर शांत, वी आर कंप्लीटली शांत, वी आर लिविंग इन अ शांत मोड. That means we are not affected by the moth, by the death, because death is not the end of the subject. ना, death is क्या है? Death प्रभु का एक अभिव्यक्ति 5 तत्वों से लेके प्रभु की शक्ति बन गई, तो कौन सी बड़ी बात है?
Yes, sir.
तो but this is बोलने में अलग बात है.
नहीं, बोल करके इसको if you contemplate, जैसे कहते हैं ना, मनन,
if you सुनो, जिसको एहसास हो जाता है कि मैं अमर आत्मा हूं, then that person is enlightened. ना, then there is no problem at all.
लेकिन सर, एक जो पॉडकास्ट आया था माता जी का, उसमें जैसे कि योर स्टेटस इज यू आर ऑन द समिट, फॉर यू नो मेडिटेशन इज रिक्वायर्ड, people like you, and but the mediocre persons who are on the path, they some definite meditation and process is required. So if we like something like this, we contemplate all the time, then it will may help in the path of enlightenment, sir. This is my point of view.
It all depends what is the medical the course of medicine you are taking. If you are taking, suppose you go to a doctor and you tell him मेरा एक इधर बॉयल है, ठीक है?
Yes,
डॉक्टर बोलता है 5 मिनट में मैं आपको बॉयल को लेजर ट्रीटमेंट में 5 मिनट में निकाल देता हूं. You go to a allopathic doctor, he will give you some medicines, it will take 1 week. You go to Ayurvedic doctor, it will take 3 months. It all depends what is the course you want to take. If you want to take the course of meditation for 8 hours a day, sadhana 6 hours a day, you can take it. If you want to take the Jnana Yoga path, you want to come on a Zoom call, you want to contemplate, you want to introspect, you want to work hard on it, you want to go on a talash, it's much faster.
Oh, okay.
It all depends what kind of path. You want to go from Bombay to Pune. Plane takes 20 minutes. Car takes 4 hours. Cycle will take 12 hours. Or maybe 24 hours. Walking will take 2 days or 5 days. I don't know how many days.
Sir, my experience is that before Zoom call, if I sit silently for 10 minutes, still the mind, then I attend this Zoom call, your words are like penetrating. So much influence is there. Sometimes I start crying also.
It is very good. What am I telling? मैं आप सबको बोलता हूँ, spend few minutes in silence.
Yes, sir.
It is, but I don't believe that you need to sit in sadhana 4 hours in silence, 8 hours in silence. I don't believe it is necessary.
But this is my sir experience. But before this Zoom call, if for 5 minutes, 10 minutes, I become in silence, then I join this Zoom call. It has very lot of impact.
Very good.
Yes, sir.
Very
Thank you,
good.
sir. Thank
Very
you,
good.
sir.
Thank you. Siri Kamal Rajanand Karma.
Shivoham Guruji.
Shivoham.
Today's question is, will an enlightened person marry? So, an enlightened person, the question of marriage does not arise. Because if he is enlightened, only SIP is, only consciousness, there is no other, only God. So, where is the question of getting married?
So I'm giving you a suppose you are fully enlightened.
Correct.
And there's a man exactly who's your best friend,
Whatever it is, I will not even see him
enlightened.
as a man, because only energy, only that consciousness is there. Where is the other? If you are
Very good.
truly enlightened, where is the other? There is nothing, only SIP. So I cannot see anybody other than SIP.
Excellent. If one has reached that level, then one has reached the highest level. Suppose there's a 25-year-old man who's enlightened, and he wants to marry a 25-year-old girl who's also enlightened. Then what do you suggest? They can, if they both understand they are best friends, they are prem yogi, they can, and live together as two souls, divine souls.
If you want, I can tell you 2-3 examples. One is Ramakrishna Paramahamsa. He was compulsorily made to marry. He married Sharda Bal, and he treated her as a mother. There is one in Orissa also, one Jayadev Ashtapadi. His name is Jayadev. So he also told that he does not want marriage, but he marries, but they both sing the devotion of the Lord. It is not a marriage which we say it is a marriage. It is not a marriage. So these are all just mythological examples. But if you are in this truly realized this one, then there is nothing.
So what you are saying is 100% the best option. What is the best option, Siri, for an enlightened person?
Person only God, nothing else.
Best option for enlightened person is an enlightened person, what you're saying, will not get into marriage. Then if there's option number 2, an enlightened person should marry an unenlightened person, or an enlightened person should marry an enlightened person, what would you suggest?
Itself is not. He will marry an enlightened, but the question itself is not that. This is again bringing into Goka. If you hear that Mataji is after that, she is telling the highest Advaita. There is nothing called the. It was excellent podcast, Guruji. I listened it twice.
Did we talk about marriage? Did we talk about marriage or
not?
not?
Marriage. She is telling where is the Atma? Different Atmas. Where are different Atmas? There is only one consciousness. That is the highest Advaita Vedanta. So if you go to the highest, where is the question of marriage? That's nothing.
So I told you that is the best option. Correct. So what we are talking on this call is there are different people at different levels of evolution. So there must be, suppose a girl who's fully enlightened marries a sharabi. Then what happens?
She has to leave him.
She has a disaster. Then her life is a disaster. So
that also there are many stories.
So we are, but you know, each of you on the call has to look at it from your point of view. For example, I became free from marriage. I became free from marriage in 1998. I have become free from marriage 27 years back. If I was not free from marriage, maybe I would not have reached where I am today. So it all depends upon each one of us. Each one of us has a different mindset, a different state of being. But ultimately, the truth is the truth, what you're saying. But don't remember this, that while that Advaita, ultimate Advaita is everything is Brahman, right? But as long as we are Jivan Muktas, we are individual beings. We are like the pot, the plate, the statue. All are mud. All are made of mud. But today you cannot say there is no difference between the statue and the pot. Or no, you cannot say the plate and the pot is the same. So tomorrow somebody will start pouring water in the plate because Siri told plate and pot is the same. Is the plate and the pot is the same? No, plate is meant for eating. Pot is meant for carrying water. So let us be in consciousness as we don't get carried away. Be very clear. Both are mitti, but the function of both are different. Correct? Are you agreeing with what I'm saying, or be in complete awareness and consciousness? So we in this call, we don't talk unrealistic things. We don't talk of needing to be a sadhvi. We don't talk that you must become a tapasvi. We don't talk that you must become a sannyasi. We don't talk that you need to be a brahmachari. It is not an easy, those are very difficult things for anybody to do. We talk in this call how you can attain enlightenment despite being a normal being. That is what my guru taught me.
But after enlightenment, you will not marry Guruji. Anyway, you will not.
If you are fully enlightened, why will you marry, Sri? If you are enlightened, then why would you marry? Because you will say, what is the need to marry? If you are enlightened, what is the need to marry? There is no need. There is no need to marry at all. Right, Siri? Anything else?
Yes, no, thank you.
Okay. Otherwise, we have now Kamalji. Kamal. Shair. Achha. Scientist. Kamalji, scientist.
Yeah, Guruji.
Shivam.
I think for an enlightened person, everyone is a spark of immortal power.
Correct.
And he or she is put to test by Prabhu to help others to awaken.
Not every enlightened person necessarily has to become a guru to help others. Many enlightened people will just live as an enlightened person also.
Now I'm saying that he or she should be able to help. Like now, see,
that is the ideal. That is the ideal purpose of an enlightened person.
Okay, see, now you are our guru, and you are helping all of us to get enlightened. Now, if the person is enlightened, the closest person is he or she, the wife or husband. He or she should help and to help them to get awakened. That's what I think.
Who should help? You are saying you are saying the disciple's husband or wife, or the guru's husband or wife?
No. The person enlightened, if he has got a wife or a husband which is not enlightened, he should be able to change her or help her or him to get awakened.
Not possible.
Why?
Because if it is not their sanskar and karma, they can't do it. A person who is enlightened cannot make their own mother and father enlightened.
No, you can help. I don't say help.
You can, no, you can. But what if they don't want to be enlightened? Suppose you are enlightened. Suppose you have your wife, for instance, your wife does not want to get enlightened. What can you do?
No, then you have to live with the
enlightenment. Kamalji, enlightenment is not a compulsory topic. Very few people, 1 in 100 will even think about it. 1 in 100 will, religion, there will be 80 out of 100 are ready to follow. But enlightenment is not an easy topic.
Yeah, but we are 100 people here looking forward for the enlightenment.
Yeah. So this is a rare group. Be sure this is a very rare group. This is not an ordinary group. And I'm telling you, as you're in this group, hopefully you will not leave this group. But there are many people who leave the group after few days, few weeks, few months. Gaya, Ram Naam Satya hai. Gone.
नहीं, अभी तो हमने बांध लिया है. अब
जो बांधता है वो नहीं छोड़ता है.
हमें छोड़ने का सवाल नहीं उठता है.
और जो छोड़ देता है उससे कभी बांधा ही नहीं था.
नहीं, अभी तो हमने बांध लिया है. और अब ऐसा बांधा है कि हम छूट भी नहीं सकते अब.
देखिए, दिस इज द मोस्ट ब्यूटीफुल पार्ट. जब मैंने अपने गुरु से बांध लिया, एक बार वो बांध देते हैं, वी गेट वेल्डेड. बांधना नहीं होता. इट्स लाइक हाउ वन मेटल गेट्स वेल्डेड टू अनदर मेटल. उसको तोड़ नहीं सकते.
Yeah, they are welded to each other.
This is a real relationship of Guru Shishya. You get completely, you cannot leave the Guru.
Yeah, they are kind of welded, or they become one.
When 1 plus, when I say when 1 plus 1
is 1.
When 1 plus 1 becomes 1. This is the magic in relationship. Not ek aur ek 11. एक और एक दो तो ऑर्डिनरी है, एक और एक 11 इज मैजिक, एक और एक इज डिवाइन ब्लिस. What Kabir Das said in that sword, क्या है वो दोहा, प्रेम गली अति साकरी.
प्रेम गली बहु साकरी जामे दुई न समाए.
तो और एक है ना जो एक स्वॉर्ड को क्या बोलते हैं, स्वॉर्ड को एक मियान क्या बोलते हैं, आई एम नॉट गिवन.
तलवार और म्यान.
हाँ, एक मियान में एक ही तलवार जा सकता है.
हाँ, वो तो ठीक है.
हाँ, तो so what happens is, the point is that when 1 plus 1, coming back without losing focus, 1 plus 1 should become 1. No, so suppose you're talking about marriage. Can 1 plus 1 become 1?
Yeah,
It is 1 in million or 1 in billion. That's why a normal person will say, छोड़ो भाड़ में जाओ, नहीं चाहिए.
नहीं, see, like Kabir, I have written thing, जब मैं हूं तो वो नहीं, और जब वो है तो मैं नहीं.
Correct. Because अगर मैं हूं तो वो कहाँ है? Only जब मैं नहीं हूं तभी तो वो हो जाता है सब. Correct. Good. Rajanand Karma. Thank you, Kamalji.
Shubham sir.
Sir, namaskar.
Sir, the question is very simple but slightly critical. Sir, my answer will be in 2 steps. First, a person who is unmarried and is enlightened during that time, that means he gets married to SIP, he gets married to awareness, he gets married to consciousness, and he doesn't live as body mind. So the worldly marriage doesn't matter for him, because जब वो आत्मा की तरह रहता है तो उसको क्या करना है दुनिया के साथ, because marriage is a social obligation. It is a social obligation. है sir?
Correct.
Pardon, sir.
You are right. No, you are right. Continue.
Okay, sir. So there is no need to, मतलब शादी करने की जरूरत ही नहीं है उसको. Then, if at all an enlightened person has to marry because of some very important reason for a greater cause, social हो या कोई obligatory cause हो, but greater reason का हो, ऐसे नहीं कि किसी के कुछ भी है, तो he should marry only to an enlightened person who is already awakened, at least awakened. तो who can live with him as soulmate, जैसे भी बोल रहे थे आप 1 plus 1. He has to ensure that, so that they can help each other on the path of sadhana.
Now, this is a practical. What you're giving is a very practical answer. Yes. The question is, will that 1 plus 1 actually become 1?
Yes.
If they are not enlightened, if one of them is not enlightened, then it will become a spark.
Both of them have. That's why I'm telling you, he should get only that what we call 1% people. If that is 1%, because enlightened person is 1%. If he gets that 1%, and then he can meet that social obligation or greater cause, जो भी होगा. Otherwise, greater cause जाए बाढ़ में. Because he should pre-decide that the obligations जो भी marriage में है, they should not affect their yoga to be जो हम योगा में रहते हैं. It should not affect their being in yoga. It should not drag him to the boga. Other person should not drag him to the boga. So because of the social, जो worldly obligations है, जो बाकी चीजें, because enlightened person में कोई worldly या mental कोई ऐसी वृत्ति नहीं होती है, activity नहीं होती है, जो जिसमें desire हो, lust हो, बाकी चीजें हो, वो होती नहीं है, because he has already left that. So वो जान के अगर कोई इसके साथ रहना चाहता है, because of the greater cause, they can marry. So socially they can marry. हाँ जी, tie the knot. They can tie a knot for socially मतलब उनके लिए, for greater cause I say again, क्योंकि वो भी एक साधना ही है. Greater cause is also the work of SIP.
What about an enlightened person marrying a not enlightened person?
Then that person will drag him to boga, and it will be disastrous for him, and he will create chaos in his life. वो तो खत्म हो जाएगा.
That is the understanding we have to have clarity on. Correct?
Clearly. वैसे भी जो sensible लोग होते हैं, normally enlightened भी नहीं होती है, they talk on slightly होते हैं, हटके होते हैं, worldly level से हटके होते हैं. वो ज्यादा प्यार में ज्यादा वो पढ़ते नहीं है, वो ज्यादातर वो ऐसी बातें करते हैं प्री मैरिज शादी से पहले करते हैं ऐसी बातें कि ये प्रॉब्लम है, वो प्रॉब्लम है. They decide lot of things. इस तरह enlightened person भी कर सकते हैं बातें.
Okay, good. Thank you. well said, Rajanand. Who's next? My device went offline. Huh? Karma. Yes, Karma.
Shivoham AiR.
Shivoham.
My point of view may differ a little bit from yours. So
No
please
problem. You're allowed to differ. There's no point. But don't drag. We don't argue on a different point. So you can give your opinion and go on. Yeah, give your opinion.
So if the question is based on a premise that a marriage is a social contract for two people to come together and procreate, then it's useless for an enlightened person. An enlightened person will not enter any kind of forced social contracts on them.
Good. Yes,
there is
good.
no question whether the other person is enlightened or not. It's
Correct.
not for them. However, if the question is based on the premise that marriage is a divine union, then the enlightened person, of course, can enter that divine union, but with the divine person, the enlightened person. If the person is not enlightened, they can consider it as a god and everything, but living with that person would be extremely difficult because they are on different planes.
So why do you say this is exactly what Rajanand spoke just now. So there's nothing to disagree. So there
Not
are
disagree. I'm questioning the premise of the question itself. If it's a social contract, then it's useless for anybody, actually, not even an
Please
enlightened.
understand. Marriage is a marriage. There is no the marriage means it's a legal thing. Marriage is a contract. That is a marriage. Today,
That's exactly where I differ. It's a yes, for a lot of people, it's a social contract. It works for them.
No, you may
It's
differ.
a union as well.
You may differ, but this is what if you just like saying water is wine. No, water according to the world, water is water. Wine is not water. If you say you think wine is water, marriage according to the world is a contract for 1+1. Of course, I don't want to get into it today. Man is marrying man and woman is marrying woman. I don't want to get into all these things. Correct? So the point is, marriage is generally considered a legal contract for two people to build a family. This is what the world, not what I think or you think. This is what the dictionary or the world thinks about. You
But
agree
here
with
is
what?
the question is enlightened person. So that's where we need to change the meaning of it and the premise of it. Also, the example of two enlightened people getting married I have example of human beings, but I like to quote the example of Shiv Parvati. If they both were not enlightened, they would
No, we
not.
don't, Karma, we don't talk of mythology on this call, so I'm not going to comment on Shiv Parvati.
Okay, but I do know two human beings who got married after they were enlightened, but that was just a divine union, not a social contract.
So that's exactly the question. So that's what answer you're given. Answer accepted. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. Who will give me the names of the 3-4 people? Atmanand, Will, Krishna, and Rekha. Because my thing went off, so please give the names. You unmute one without my telling.
Shivam, Guruji.
Shiva.
So I know of friends, who have entered into marriage, but they're very clear that they won't have kids and stuff like that. So
are they enlightened? Are they enlightened?
I don't know.
So that is, see, today there are different type of marriages. Today, one there's a no kid marriage. When somebody came for a job recently,
No, both of them are spiritual. They live in an ashram and live a very spiritual life. I'm not talking about the normal double income.
That's very good. Then that's very good. Two people. I would think of them both to be religious, according to me. Are they religious or are they spiritual?
Spiritual.
Very good. So to me, if two very spiritual people with the same alignment, not if there's one Dvaita and one Advaita who get married, means there'll be short circuit.
No, they both are following the same practice, have the same guru, and they have, kind of decided. I mean, they have, legally, whatever, they're married, they have that, whatever, this thing, but they live a very spiritual life. They have also decided not to have kids and stuff like that.
So that is what that's why this topic has come into today's discussion. And if you go to a Ramakrishna order or a Chinmaya order or a Adi Shankara order, they will tell you marriage is out of question. You go to Brahma Kumaris, I think probably they'll tell you out of question. You go to any of the religious spiritual traditions, they will say no marriage. But for example, if you go to Radha Swami, they will say you can marry. There is no problem in marrying. So there are different traditions that talk of different things, and I'm just trying to build up. I give you all every time a context. Now, to many of you, this may be irrelevant. Many of you, you're already married. Your partner, your spouse may be spiritual, may be religious, may not be spiritual, may not be religious. It has to open the perspective for you. Some of you have got supporting partners, some of you have got opposing partners. How are you going to deal with enlightenment? Because enlightenment has to be the priority of your life. For me, I got out of marriage far earlier. I got out of marriage 16 years before I got awakened. That was probably the will of SIP.
So, Guruji, I have one follow-up question on this. So, let's say somebody is following spirituality. I don't know. It's an individual journey, but anyway, if they follow it as a couple, does their journey get accelerated?
I don't think it can get accelerated. Let me tell you, if there are two very divine people who are completely divine, completely Advaitic, then what is the problem in them doing this journey together? Provided there is no attachment, provided there is no, they suppose they have to have a bhava, the bhava of seeing God in all, serving God in all, loving God in all. That is very rare to find. I can tell you probably it can happen 1 in a million, which means nothing, 1 in 10 lakhs for such an example. Very rare, very difficult. And the problem is if one is religious, one is spiritual, does not work. Because both are on opposite thought processes.
Then it is very difficult.
Yeah. So I'm just trying to open out a discussion. Next, please. Will. We have 7 minutes for questions and then meditation. Will.
Thank you. Firstly, look, it's wonderful that you come up with questions every day. And some of those questions are really excellent. Today's question is somewhat, it's not, I can't say wrong, but I just feel really it's not really for me to say what can and can't be, because there are many sides to it. And it's, you know, who am I to say it can or it can't?
Are you married or can I ask you, are you married or not?
I'm not married now, sir. But what I do agree with what you said. What I can't stand is people's strong opinions, like it can or must or shouldn't, like this opinion. Who is anyone to say such a thing? Things
So we are not, my dear Will. No, my dear Will, we are not making any strong opinions. We are only opening up the subject for contemplation.
Well, then the answer is maybe, but that's the end of the discussion. You know, this is what I'm saying.
Yeah,
like I feel we can talk about maybe, but and use different words. But at the end of the conversation, it will be maybe, maybe not. Why not? Like that. That's all.
So it's a very interesting point to contemplate, and also depending on each one. Suppose somebody is in a marriage. That is marriage helping us, or is marriage coming in the way? All these are things to discuss.
In any case, my question was really about the force.
Yeah, no, good. You are very clear. Thank you, Will. Thank you for your quick update. After Krishna then? Krishna and Rekha.
Sir, Krishnoha.
Krishnoha.
So this question actually points to, if you have a clear purpose, even if it is spirituality or even if it is science or whatever, we need to choose our partner very wisely. Otherwise, it will be a big problem. But then I know many people who have married after being enlightened. I can give few names. Popular ones I can give. Kabir, for example, was married. Socrates was married. Nisargadatta Maharaj was married. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was married. So maybe their enlightenment was so powerful, it could have been a detached attachment, or the wife understood. But the reverse many a times is not possible. So the question for us now is, and somebody asked me a question also, if you cannot adjust with one person in your home, Brahma Gyan ke liye, how are you being eligible for the whole oneness if you can't adjust with one partner in your home? So that, and now what I can say about this call is, we are already married, and so there are resistances, but I can understand an enlightened person should never do that mistake of falling into samsara.
So very nice. Krishna. So what it's a very beautiful subject when as long as you look at it as in consciousness. Correct, Krishna? And like you said, this whole thing, for example, how can you see SIP in your partner? This is a challenge. Now, whether the partner understands, doesn't understand, it hardly matters. If your partner is not enlightened or is not enlightened, how does it matter? If you are enlightened, you see SIP in your partner. If you see SIP in your partner, there will be peace at home. There will be love at home. If you don't see SIP in your partner, then there's a problem. The problem sometimes happens, the partners don't agree. Sometimes they create a resistance, they create a blockage. They have to go by ABCD formula. So an enlightened person has to, the question of course today is giving a very different thing.
But this
Will an
is
enlightened person marry?
so even if you are very enlightened, at times there is no hard and fast rule. Something can happen and they get entangled in a wedding, no?
Yeah, yeah. वो भी हो सकता है,
You say
कुछ भी हो
Narada
सकता है,
first.
हाँ कुछ भी हो सकता है. इस संसार में कृष्णा कुछ भी हो सकता है. But like you said, if somebody is in consciousness, first option would be, even if I love somebody who's enlightened, what is the necessity of getting into a marriage knot? Marriage knot is generally to create a family. An enlightened person will not try to create a family. Now, suppose
One
an
recent
enlightened...
example also. So one recent example, I heard Shivani talking and she was also very enlightened before she got married. But she got a very understanding partner.
Vinay, I don't never met her. I don't know her. No comments. No, I can't give a comment like that. But I feel it's very difficult for a marriage to survive unless both partners are on the same frequency, first of all. And if two people are not enlightened, then it's a big challenge.
It is.
Good.
It
Your
is.
views are very much aligned. Next is Rekha. We have 8:55 hard stop. Rekha,
Shivoham AiR.
Shivoham.
According to me, marriage is the thought of our mind.
So then?
And it's a work of our mind also, because it's body, mind, and ego marriage. So I feel an enlightened person will never get into this and shouldn't also, because it's not for an enlightened person, is in consciousness. So this question doesn't rise in an enlightened person's life.
So see, many of you are talking from your experience. Many of you are married and many of you are seeking enlightenment, and many of you are seeing how the partnership is a hurdle. Many of you are finding that having a married partner becomes a roadblock. Many of you find it to be a roadblock. So you're talking from your experience.
Yes.
I'm talking from my experience how I am free. If I was not free, I would not have been able to do what I'm doing.
Yes, surely.
I would never be able to dedicate myself to sit if I was not independent. If somebody was pulling my strings, I would not be able to dedicate myself to sit.
Yes, and marriage is the mind of works mind. It is not consciousness. It will not.
Okay, thank you. Quickly, we have two more questions and then meditation. 2 hours. Rumataji and then Shiva, and then meditation.
Pranam Guruji.
Pranam
Shivoham.
Mataji. Boliye.
Guruji, one first thing is your broadcast with Mataji is very, very nice. I like
Boliye,
it too
Mataji.
much. Secondly, if the two persons are enlightened, then सोने पे सुहागा है बोलते हैं कि they will have true companionship, true love, and they will reach their goal very fast because both are on the same frequency.
So this is Rumataji, this is what is very beautiful, which everybody cannot understand. If there are two soulmates, who have a beautiful prema yoga, then that in our teaching is possible, provided both are in that state of Satchidanand.
Yes, Guruji.
If one also is not in a state of Satchidanand, it will be a time bomb.
Yes, that is there. And Guruji, if enlightened person is marrying unenlightened person, then it depends upon both of them, how they are dealing with their life. If they are compassionate and they understand each other, maybe the non-enlightened person becomes enlightened. That can also happen.
If an enlightened person marries a non-enlightened person, 99.9% is a time bomb.
Guruji, you say no, always have positive
नहीं
vibrations.
I'm saying नहीं positive hope कर सकते, but we must face the reality.
Yes,
Right?
that is there.
It's like jumping in the ocean without a life jacket and
नहीं,
saying have positive attitude कि मैं बच जाऊंगा.
नो गुरुजी, पहले तो एक दूसरे के में रंग जाते हैं ना, हो सकता है कि इट में चेंज द अदर पर्सन.
Rumata ji, worldly love is not workable in the spiritual path. Worldly love is not at all acceptable in spiritual awakening. Worldly love में नहीं होता है. Because the whole worldly love is completely samsaric. It is completely worldly.
But Guruji, I am telling from my experience, my husband is not interfering. He is supporting me. Whatever I want to do, I can. प्रभु की तरफ लगना है, लग सकते हैं. No problem.
We are not saying that every marriage is a hurdle. हम ऐसा थोड़ी बोल रहे हैं. Today's topic is not is every marriage a hurdle to enlightenment. Is that the topic for today?
No,
that's not the topic. There are many marriages in this call. There are many people whose partners are supportive.
Yes.
But there are some people who tell me that their partner stops them from this call. There are many people who come and tell me the partner switches off the data. The partner will make sure this time 8 to 9 that the person is disturbed. There are many people who face the problem.
Yes, I know.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank
Siva,
you.
and then thank
Pranam,
you.
Guruji.
Will, you would like to make a comment after the meditation? Will can make a comment. Yes, Siva.
Shivam Guruji, I would
Shivam.
say the first thing is enlightened person will not get into samsara because marriage means bondage, bondage means suffering. So he will never get into samsara. But like us, we are already married and we are walking this path. I will talk about my family only. Full support from my partner. He's not enlightened, but he's always following the same path which even I am not. Sometimes I also slip, whereas he is not. So there is no bond. Love, I won't say it's a body mind, it's a divine love only, what we share. But at the same time, when I get enlightened, I cannot leave the family, but it becomes my dharma and do the action as a karma yogi, isn't it?
Absolutely. Absolutely right. So for a person who's enlightened, I never say you have to leave your family. Never have I said that.
Yes.
So you can continue to live as a karma yogi. And sometimes you are blessed to have a partner who's 100% supportive. Sometimes you are blessed to have a partner who is also following the path. I can see some of you have that. So all these are different subjects. But every day, this call is a 1 hour meditation. See, there can be no better meditation than Zoom call. Because in Zoom call, you're completely engaged. You're completely engaged. Will, would you like to make a quick comment? I'm starting meditation. Just a quick comment for a few seconds, Will. Unmute, Will.
Yeah, I think firstly there are many famous marriages, Ananda Mahima, Ramakrishna, and so on. These people were married, and there are other examples of enlightenment, which I think you've already discussed this issue. Really, I had wanted to talk about the other issue I talked about yesterday, the dark and the light. So
that
this
only
was
tomorrow.
my priority.
Today time is out. So tomorrow we will talk. Okay.
Yes, sir.
It's 9 o'clock. So we have to close with 1 minute meditation. I will just take your 1 minute before we close. Dear Lord, you have blessed us to be where we are today. Either we are married or not married. Whatever we are, we accept it as your divine will. However, if we want to attain that state of unification with you, nothing should stop us. We should not have any string that ties our wing. And today we pray in surrender. May we be liberated. The word moksha, nirvana talks of liberation. And liberation means not getting into any bondage of any kind. We pray your grace upon us that we be free, not only free from the mind and ego, me, but free from the cravings of the body. For if we crave as the body, then we will continue to crave and take this craving to our grave. We will be gone and we will be reborn. And this will go on and on and on. We will never become one with you. What is this world? This world is a Leela, your divine drama. What is this Leela? It is an appearance of Maya. It is Mithya. We are all manifestations of the one divine. Why don't we realize this simple truth? Our ultimate goal is not about a social marriage in this world. Our ultimate goal is realization, liberation, and unification. Bless us to make that the only priority of our life. May we live as a karma yogi, doing thy will, seeking nothing, enjoying peace, love, and bliss, as we see sip in all, serve sip in all, and love sip in all. With folded hands.